Hi guys, in this video I am going to provide you the diagrams of one important question of lecture number 1 from SSSC 121 friends, that is spheres of earth. So there are 3 spheres friends: atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. I will provide you diagram which will be easy to remember. You can write important points, maximum all important points from this diagram instead of by heading all the paragraph before the exam. If you remember this diagram, you can write maximum all important points friends. You can write maximum all important points. So let us start with atmosphere friends. Even the definition of atmosphere is covered in this diagram friends. This diagram is created by me. Okay, let us start with atmosphere. You can write the definition of atmosphere that is exactly present in the stencil friends. So let us start friends. This is earth friends. This is earth. The part of earth, maximum part of earth is covered by water friends. This is water and this is land friends. So atmosphere definition is envelope of air. This is earth and this is the envelope of air which is surrounding the earth friends. The envelope of air that covers both hydrosphere and lithosphere. The envelope of air that covers both hydrosphere and lithosphere is called atmosphere friends. This is the exact definition given in the stencil friends. So first point you will be writing about definition, and next point you can write 3 points about these physical quantities friends. First is height, weight and density. 1 point about height, 1 point about weight, 1 point about density. So the height of atmosphere from the surface of earth is 322 kilometers friends. This is 1 point you can write. And next, weight. As air is very less in weight, it contributes only 0.03% of total earth's weight friends. Atmosphere contributes only 0.03% of earth's weight. This is another point. Next, density. Density of gases. As we move up from the surface of the earth, the density of gases decreases friends. As we move higher and higher, it will be very difficult to support the life friends. As the density of air decreases in the topmost layers, it will be difficult to support the life. So first point is definition, next point is height, next point is weight and density. And next you can draw a table about composition of atmosphere friends, atmospheric gases. So nitrogen gas occupies 78% of atmospheric air friends. Next, oxygen 20.9%, carbon dioxide 0.04% and other gases nearly 1% friends. Okay friends, height, weight, density, and you can draw a table showing the percentages of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and other gases friends. And next point is about water vapor friends. The 1 point about water vapor is the water vapor content in atmosphere varies from place to place and time to time. Remember this point friends. So I try to cover all the points related to atmosphere in this diagram friends. First is definition, height, weight, density, composition of gases, next water vapor friends. So nearly 6 points, main points, 6 main points you can write from this diagram friends. So this is about atmosphere. So next is hydrosphere friends. Before going to hydrosphere, let us see what are the layers present in the earth friends. The top layer is crust, middle layer is mantle and innermost part is core. Crust, mantle, core. Middle one is M for middle and M for mantle. Top layer is crust and inside part is core friends. So let us move to hydrosphere friends. Before going to hydrosphere, we have to see one main difference, friends, between the terms Earth's surface and Earth crust, friends. The top layer, this one, is Earth's surface, friends, and crust only constitutes the land part. This thing, crust only constitutes the land part. So this is surface of Earth's crust, and this is Earth's total surface, friends. So why I am telling about the differences is, you can find 2 points about Earth's surface and Earth's crust in the stencil, friends, in the hydrosphere part. So to avoid that confusion, I am telling about these differences, friends. So the first and important point that we are learning from our childhood, friends, Earth's surface is 70% occupied by water and 30% occupied by land, friends. This is 70% and this is 30%, friends. Another point that we come across in the material is, hydrosphere covers almost 3/4 of Earth's crust, friends. What does it mean? Earth's crust means only this land part. So 3/4 of this land part, you can see here, this one. This is called ocean basin, friends. This is ocean basin. This part is covered by hydrosphere, friends, and this is the 3/4 part of Earth's crust. The remaining 1/4 of Earth's crust is covered by gases, friends, atmosphere. You got my point, friends? 3/4 part of Earth's crust. This is Earth's surface. This is Earth's surface, and this is Earth's crust. Okay, 3/4 of this Earth's crust is covered by hydrosphere, friends. I hope you got my point. Okay. First point is 70% of Earth's surface is covered by water. This is Earth's surface, and next point is 3/4 of Earth's crust covered by water. Crust means all this, friends. It includes ocean basins. Ocean basin. What is an ocean basin? Ocean basin is nothing but the bowl-like structure, friends, of Earth's crust in which ocean water is present. The bowl-like structure of Earth's crust in which ocean water is present is called ocean basin, friends. Okay, friends. Earth's crust contains these ocean basins. And while studying the material, you will come across a point about Earth crust, friends. That is, it will be 5 to 56 kilometer depth. 5 to 56 kilometer depth. So why is the difference? This is the reason, friends. This is the reason for that difference. Here, this is ocean basin. Under this ocean basin, it is very less distance up to the mantle, friends, and from land surface of it will be more. Okay, friends. So 5 to 56, friends. This is the meaning of that point. And next point is about weight. Atmosphere contributes 0.03% of Earth's weight. Water is heavier than air, so that is a general thing. So hydrosphere contributes 6.91% of Earth's weight, friends. Hydrosphere contributes 6.91% of Earth's weight. There you can see number 3 in the weight, 0.03%. Here you can see 6 and 9. 3, 6, 9. So you can remember like that, friends. I am telling you how to remember. 6.91% of Earth's weight is contributed by hydrosphere, and that is another point, friends. And next point given is hydrosphere is 10 kilometer deep. In atmosphere we write a point about height that is 322 kilometers, friends. And in hydrosphere we write a point about depth, that is 10 kilometers given in the material. So that makes the next point. And next point is, what are the water bodies that are present in hydrosphere? Hydrosphere means all the water present on the earth makes hydrosphere. So oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, all the water of these water bodies constitutes hydrosphere, friends. So that is another point. So most of the water among these water bodies is present in ocean, friend. Most of the water present in this hydrosphere is present in oceans, friends. And the next point is, if we see here, this is water. What does water contain? That is the next point. So water contain air for the survival of aquatic organisms. So water contains air and sand particles as sediments. When rivers flow, they bring soil particles and small rocks. So water contains air and all the soil particles as sediments, friends. So I think I covered all the important points about hydrosphere in this. So about five main points I covered in this. Okay, friends, this is about hydrosphere. And a simple paragraph about lithosphere is given in the material, friends. So there is no need of diagram for lithosphere. Here only it is covered. So all this land part, solid part, is lithosphere, friends. It is a solid sphere of earth. That is one point. So what does lithosphere contain? So this is ocean basin. It consists of continents, ocean basins, plains, plateaus, mountains, valleys, etc., friends. This is another point. What does interior of earth contains? Absolutely rocks and minerals. That is one common point. And lithosphere is covered by gases and water envelopes. Again the same point. This is lithosphere. Here it is covered by water, and here it is covered by air. Okay, friends, it is covered by gaseous and watery envelopes. The earth's crust here is covered by water, and earth's crust here is covered by atmosphere, friends. That is gaseous envelope. And next point, again weight. Earth's crust contributes maximum part of Earth's weight, friends, as it is the solid part of Earth. It contributes 93.06% of Earth's mass. Atmosphere 0.03% of Earth's mass. Weight of hydrosphere 6.91%. And lithosphere contributes 93.06% of Earth's mass. 369. So these are the numbers of Earth's mass contribution by lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. So you can remember like that easily. So all the spheres covered, friends: atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. All the main points, about 4 or 5 main points covered in this video. Thank you, friends. Let us meet in next video. Bye, friends. I will provide you the diagrams of this in my WhatsApp group channel, that is Vivek Study Club. So if you want the PDF, you can join in that channel, friends. Thank you. Bye.